Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed. The ability to win a GAC match is insignificant next to the power of prevailing. Or the Force. Prevailing, yeah. Prevailing. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails, a Grand Arena story, guys. We're in match number 3 of the current GAC 3v3 season. I'm in the top 50, and we're up against Darkseid again. It's a struggle, always against this guy. I'm 2-0 against him, but our records, that 2-0 does not indicate how close our fights have been. We're also going to answer, what's the most important Zeta in the game? I mean, it's being a little facetious, I'll just warn you now. So, here's the situation. We're up against Darkseid. If you guys have caught our other 2 matches, you'll know that both of them have been extremely hard fought. This guy's he's constantly in the top 50, and last time I beat him by 1 banner. The time before that, I had to get lucky. Otherwise, I think he just barely didn't clear, or maybe I just beat him by a couple banner. I forget what the exact result was, but he had to get pretty unlucky against my Iden team in order to make it work. I have a little bit higher GP than him. He's from one of the best guilds, the biggest guilds in the game, called Maul. Look at his. So we got the new hotbot version, which is fine. It looks fine. Everything's good. The problem being, Relic 8 is on the left now instead of the right, which I don't love. So maybe I'll ask Hot Sauce about that instead of just whining about it. But one way or another, guys, he beats me on mods and he beats me on relics. So hey, yay, hey, hooray for that. Relic 7, 8, and 9. He has a distinct advantage. And, I mean, that's where his 100 extra mods come from over what I have. I guess it's not quite 100. Don't try to math me. Here's what I placed, folks. So, being as I so deeply love and respect Darkseid, he's actually a very good dude. And so, I decided to place a really tough front zone, followed by 3 GLs in the back, because that's the kind of person I am and the kind of person he deserves to have facing him. I mean, he does the same, you guys will see. But it's, we're still trying to figure out 3v3. But the idea is to try to force him into using GLs in the front, so he's unprepared to beat the GLs I have in the back. That's the goal here anyways, guys. And then place a bunch of other annoying teams too, so we can't try to zerg those GLs in the back down. Now, the bottom front zone that he placed is the exact same thing that I'm trying to do. He just did a better job of it, actually. I put Treya down, which isn't a great team for that, but he placed Darth Revan, which, I mean, all of these teams, guys, are teams that I want to use a GL on, but I need to save 1 for the back, and I need I need to find some off metas. I only have 3 GLs available. On the top, he's still got really good teams, and you'll see how strong that Boba team is, folks. It is actually quite good. I underestimated it, and it cost us, folks. We'll just say that. Foreshadowing, it didn't necessarily decide the match, but it did cost us. So, that being said, folks, before we get into the fighting, just want to remind you, if you want to support the channel for free, all you've got to do is like, subscribe, comment, something to help us mount the algorithm. It's a group effort, folks. If you want to keep this content coming, please, I really appreciate it. It's free. It takes such a small amount of time, and it is something I truly do appreciate. I read all my comments, and usually try to either respond or, at the very least, give you a, some kind of indicator that you know that I've read it. Some of the more ignorant things I just leave alone, however. And sometimes I just don't. Sometimes my comments get too crazy and I can't read them all. But that being said, folks, please help me welcome in, gosh, this is the most awkward way to say it, the video footage of our fight. Gosh, what am I doing? Okay, so you'll have to excuse the lozenge in my, the throat lozenge. I've always thought that was like the most awkward phrase or thing to call something that's in my mouth. Gosh, I'm not feeling well today, but You know, this helps me able to even talk at all. So this is not what we wanted to look at, though, guys. Here we go. There we go. You guys got a sneak peek of what the live footage is going to look like. All right. Okay. So we need to use off metas here, guys, and that means we're going to use this this troopers team here. I don't have the right crit chance on Veers. We want him to get feared early on when he uses his AoE against Malak, so then he's feared and out of the way. So when Piett calls to assist, Dark Trooper punches more often. But we don't have that, so we're gambling a little bit. The idea is, at the very least, we'll be able to kill Dark Basti, but hopefully we can get a one-shot, even if it does turn kind of dirty. So, put the mark thing on Dark Trooper. And this is actually the one where this is the title match, the title card, where you get to find out what the most important Zeta, tongue-in-cheek, in the game is. So, okay, we killed Basti, and now we got to try to kill Malak if we can. So we're just punching him as one does, Malak. And now I don't know. It's like, should I shoot Darth Revan? Should I shoot Malak? I wasn't sure. But Veers is gone, and all right, we gotta punch this Malak though, guys. So we only have 2 stacks on Dark now. Okay, well, now we're at 1 stack. Now here's the thing: the worst Zeta in the whole game, and yet the most important Zeta in the whole game, the one that you'll never ever use until you're desperate, is his AoE, because it gives him another stack. Because he's about to lose. If he loses one more stack, he's gone. He's dead. Goodbye forever. But you can regrow his stacks up to a certain point if he uses his AoE, which no one ever uses or does. I've used this, I think this is like the 3rd time I've ever used this for this purpose. But every time I've done it, it's saved the fight. So, there, he'd be dead right now. We'd be screwed. Remember, we can't call assists on Darth Revan, but we barely managed it, guys. Dropped 7 banners, but we one-shot. Thank goodness. Now, one thing that I am not going to be able to show you, because I didn't take enough screenshots, I'm sorry to say. I was at the zoo all day with my family. My opponent has failed a few times on my front zone, so we've got a little bit of wiggle room if we fail as well. So I'm trying this new counter. I've seen the top-end guys tell me that they've used it on on Starkiller. You use a Darth Revan team, and here's the thing: those high-end guys all have like Relic 9 Malaks and Relic 7 or 8 Darth Revans, and my Malak is 7. Revan and Basti are both 5. So even though they're okay modded, they're not to the level of all these peak performers, guys. So okay, as long as we can kill one of them, though. So we killed Palp, thank goodness. As long as you can kill one of them, then the magic of Starkiller is broken, and you can use just any old thing to cancel them, to delete them. So, okay, here's the next fight, guys. Really, really, really fast Jedi, Anakin, and Ki-Adi-Mundi here, and I wanted to try this counter. I wanted to try GL Nute against it, and I mean, so a friend of mine was going through these fights, and the analysis that they gave, and I don't know if I completely agree. Like, we killed Qui-Gon, so we can clean this up as well, but the analysis was, you have to be able to survive the opening barrage from Ki-Adi-Mundi and Anakin on Nute. Nute needs to remain intact, and obviously my Nute died right away. Minute. It was a minute problem. In fact, it turned into a big problem. But okay, so we've got General Grievous on offense, and man, I feel like a petulant child sometimes. Like, I want Grievous to be better than he is in 3s. He's just has a rough time in 3s, so I just leave him off of my defense a lot of times, which he's probably good enough to put on defense and steal some banners or steal a good team, but I just don't. This is the first time I've even used him at all this GAC, like this whole season. So, yay. I mean, we lost a ton of banners there, though. It wasn't efficient. Now, You'll note that their hit points are way worse now, way reduced, because they don't meet the criteria. Now note that Finn could have saved me some banners there by doing his heal, and he didn't. Banners do come into play. I won't say that this necessarily cost me the match or anything like that. I'm not going to spoil it, but banner pinching here, guys. Notice every time that I could have gotten a banner. Now, you don't have to tell me in the comments. I'm sure some of you will want to, but you don't have to tell me. But note, there are ways that I can actually get banners here, and that is a relevant discussion, as you'll see when we get to the end. So, all right, we got through all those teams. We failed a couple times, damn it all. But Darkside's also failed a couple times because we both just placed way too much on defense. And so, one thing about Lord Vader is he's a little bit sketch against the other Galactic Legends out there. That's just how it works. But, I mean, like, he can beat them a lot of times, but a lot of times he's inefficient against them. Okay, I'm doing my AoE here, guys, by the way, just so that Fives will be working through his protection a little bit so that we don't create a Super Rex here. Though I think that kind of backfires. See, Rex dies of sadness, and then there's a sacrifice that doesn't actually matter. But one thing that's nice about Lord Vader, though, is he'll beat any General Skywalker team. This is Relic 9 on Fives, Relic 9 on General Skywalker, all of them extremely well modded. Get a 59. Very, very easy, very drama-free. No question that's going to work every time. And so, yeah, it was wonderful. Now, this is one you guys can tell me if I played poorly. I didn't have a better tank, so that's part of the issue here, guys. So, I mean, we need to kill Crew here because he's Relic 9. Crew is really good here because he's a Desufu, and he's like 300 speed already. So with speed up, and Lord Vader's speed bonus for him, he ends up being like 400 speed, which means that against most teams, Maul gets his barrage of hits immediately. Now, it worked out that way this time as well. We didn't quite manage to take him out before he popped his ult, which, I mean, hopefully that wouldn't be an issue. But anyways, kill Crew with our big hit from Asajj. That's not her name. Why did I call Asajj? Where did that come from? From Cat. It must be because I'm feeling sick, guys. That has to be it. There could be no other explanation. So, anyways, we killed Crew with that, and then Maul's easy enough to sweep up. And this is where my inferior inferior relics come in. We only have Relic 7 on Cat and Relic 8 on Kenobi. So we're not doing as much damage. There's a Relic 9 Lord Vader, modded, as you might expect, extremely well by one of the best guilds in the game, a member from one of the best guilds in the game, and we just can't get through, guys. We're getting enough armor shreds, but there's probably some times that I just didn't I should have kept my cleanse or something like that available, and I just didn't, and as it is, like, the so-called Lord Failure here just cleaned my clock here. I mean, this must be like a reenactment of what's going to happen in the new Kenobi show, I think. So, I mean, he popped his ult. Was that his third time? I mean, we're done. Done, son. So, that was cool. Thanks for that. The one thing about Lord Vader, though, is you can generally find ways to double tap this. Now, this was not an efficient way to double tap it. It cost me my very best Galactic Legend, and that didn't even kill him, so we had to use one of our very best teams to be able to counter it. So, like, these bounty hunters are so good, guys, I mean, against everything. I don't want to waste them on cleanup, even though I don't think I actually had a team that could clean this up with beyond bounty hunters. That's why we saved them to the last and didn't try anything. I had this weird idea of trying to counter General Skywalker with these guys, actually, and I decided against it. So bravo me, kudos to me for choosing that, making that wise decision. But, okay. Here, we get to the back zone, and he does have one GL. We have Sith Eternal available for it. But that Rey team is actually pretty scary for Sith Eternal. In fact, you guys will see firsthand just how scary it is in a little bit. Now, we got to get to the top zone first, and this is where our live portion of the show comes in. The live match is going to be another Thridian, but I thought this was a good way for you guys to understand like kind of the methodology to countering CLS. So we're going to transition to that, and you'll see me live for just a minute. Hold on a sec. Okay, so decrease all the turn meter stuff. Yeah, so Luke gets a turn. Don't love that. Yeah, so I guess we just do this so that we can fracture Luke. There we go. Get the armor shred on Chewpio here. Can taunt. Yeah, so we want to cleanse on Stormtrooper. Do this to reduce turn meter and stuff. Yikes. Who has a bunch of turn meter? This guy does. Gideon. Mr. Gid himself. Let's see. If we do a half step here, or should we just stun? Let's just stun Chewpio for funsies. Let's see. So he'll take a turn. You know, let's reduce all the turn meters again. And get another one of these. Get another one of these here. Ooh, Calvin Awesome with a raid, guys. We're trying to correct our mistake. We're using Thridian here on Commander Luke. Hopefully, last time we lost with it, so it's a little bit scary. But things are going a little bit better, at least here this time. No guarantees, but gosh, you just keep giving them turns here, bud. It's not okay. We need to take out this Chewpio team as quickly as we can. Alright, do a half step here. Okay, get rid of the turn meter stuff. Do this so they don't gain any more turn meter. Put CLS back in timeout. Keep dispelling things, reducing Thrawn's turn meter. Gosh, come on now. Really need to take this guy out. Alright, 4 armor shreds. Is that enough? We can at least stun him. Alright, so he's stunned in the afterlife. That's good enough, I suppose. Alright, let's get him, guys. So we're going to save the turn meter reduction from Gideon until a little bit later when Thrawn actually has some turn meter. So we can reduce Thrawn's turn meter as well. Thrawn has some turn meter. Let's get rid of it now. Play with our food just a tiny bit. There we go. Got a 57. As God intended. Wonderful. Alright, folks. Here we are. We're back. And we're in part 2. Okay, so here is a major blunder. We're going to start off really excitedly with a major blunder on mine. So they have a really fast Fin Poe team, but I have a faster dash, which then feeds enough turn meter to Qi'ra and to Landino, so that Landino can one-shot someone because he's Relic 8 and does things like that. However, there's a huge misplay here. Qi'ra goes next in this, and she, like, in 5v5, a lot of times her move is going to be to throw a grenade to dispel, but she doesn't need to do that. She should call an assist to everyone, because everyone's prepared, and they'll all assist and take someone out, and then Landino can choose to take someone else out. Now watch how it transpires a little bit differently. So you do the big AoE. That was correct. Now, Qi'ra should call the mass assist and kill Finn. Now, Finn should just be dead, because she'll have called Dash and Landino to hit Finn and kill him. And there's not really a possibility. Like, I don't think Finn would survive that. But he's still alive, so Landino, seeing nothing wrong, decides to just take out Finn. Which is, I mean, granted, that's not a terrible choice. 150k. However, now there's a taunt here, and Dash is stunned, and so, I mean, I don't see any huge issues yet. However, Landino's basic does not do nearly as much damage as his special, and we just get killed. I I was so confident that that would win, and I still lost. So, and I could have won, actually. I could have, but that was my own bad. So we did kill Finn, so that takes the teeth out of that comp at least. Now we're using EP Mara Vader. So my Starkiller team I've been running with General Kenobi and Maul, which has cost, I think my opponent has every time used a Galactic Legend on that team, so I have no real complaints. Like that's about what you'd want from a team like that, is getting, so, and in return I do have this EP Mara Vader team to mess around with. Now I won't always be taking this squad here, but it is pretty handy. I mean, being able to take out this GL Nute team is pretty handy, honestly. So we're just trying to contain Jango until he's available for death, essentially. So I tried to do the culling blade here. I tried to get fancy, but then the thing that I forgot with Vader was the culling blade was going to put Nute into stealth, which meant, like, I thought that I could get another turn and just take out Nute again with Vader, but then I had forgotten that he was going to be in stealth right afterward, and so I just had to hit the not yet available for death Jango. So we gotta figure out how to kill this Jango before he does one of his really big, obnoxious hits. Okay, 55. Good enough. Good enough. Dropped a couple banners, but I mean that's pretty good. Now his Darkside's failed a couple more times at this point, but nothing too crazy. Okay, here's a blunder also, guys. Well, a potential blunder. So, okay, we're gonna do the icebreaker thing, and thank goodness we. So, okay, so Dooku got dazed there, so he didn't hit me back. But otherwise, he could have hit me under my health, which would have given me tenacity down, which would have given them the ability to stun lock me. Like, this is a potential disaster if I hadn't actually been able to stick that daze on him. I realized that too late. It ended up working out for me, and I actually ended up getting good banners here too, crazy enough. But yeah, okay, so this Boba team, guys, I was like, all right, we got this. Now, this is me being foolish, though, folks. So he's fueled by a few different things. One of them is thermals. If you read his leadership, guys, thermal detonators is a thing. So I was like, okay, we'll just kill Boba real quick, and then we'll kill the rest of them, because my other guys, they're pretty resilient. We'll be good. And, you know, we'll be able to kill Boba. No issues. Like, we'll just keep him stun or ability blocked, and, I mean, that's we managed to do that for the most part. Like, keeping him ability blocked, it seems to be working. But, I mean, the issue being, of course, the Boba has 2 lives. Okay, so we killed him once. Then I'm like, okay, we got to kill him again here as soon as we can. Okay, get that ability block, and I mean, everything's still looking good. It's like we're making progress toward it, and we're making more progress. Probably should have called the mass assist there, but okay, gosh, because we're so close. We're in yellow. He did his big hit, didn't kill me, and then he did kill me, and we're done. They got their contract, and they're done, because Cassian took the first turn, and so we died. So I was like, okay, let's take Basti here. And this was me probably being tilted a little bit. So we killed Boba real quick. Great. Just need to kill him one more time. Now, this whole time, okay, look how close we are to killing Boba, guys. Super close, right? Then he does his big AoE, kills me. Or his big hit and kills me, and we should have been going for Zam that whole time, guys. So I decided, okay, let's take a step back. We got to take a step back. Should have just killed Zam right away, and that would have made Boba have less teeth. It would have made him a lot tougher to. Okay, so I was like, we need a cheap kill here, guys, against this Finn Poe team. So we got Talzin and Daka, and then Talia, because we have the other good Night Sisters on defense. You know, they're off dying for most of Mac's banners, but I mean, this team couldn't beat a Finn Poe team. There's no question. But a Finn Poe team, where the one of the Finn available is the lesser, we did okay. So good for us. Pooh, I guess. We finally got a win after the Boba fiasco. Now you can see he'd failed a bunch on my GLs, and he wasn't going to clear either of those GLs. Okay, so my original title card was actually going to be the Bad Batch are better in 3s than in 5s, even though there's the inherent awkwardness of not having one of your friends. Like, you don't get Wrecker or Omega. And a lot of times, you can make the argument that Omega is unnecessary in certain comps, and that's fine. But the thing is, that these 3 together, I mean, I know that some people like to prefer to use Wrecker here instead of Tech. I really like Tech because he cleanses debuffs. Tech does, of course. Then you don't have true damage from anywhere except for the Echo basic, if you want to do that. But anyways, it takes us a while to. I mean, these are all Relic 9 on Kenobi, Relic 8 on Padme. I don't know what R2 is at, but I mean, we just keep going. I mean, they keep building up their stacks, but we can dispel it with Echo. And remember, we have 3 stacks of translation, so that's why I'm choosing to do basics with Tech a lot of times, is to reduce those cooldowns on our friends here, so that we can keep going. Now, I mean, there are certain points in time that this fight really felt like we were just gonna lose, for sure. Like, the momentum was not with us. But, I mean, it's such a resilient squad, guys. It just really is. We finally killed R2, which is obviously pretty great. And so keep in mind, too, that, I'm still getting used to these powers. One thing that I have gotten a lot better at, though, is being able to remember that Hunter can get that ability block. Or not, it's not ability block, but buff immunity, non-dispellable buff immunity onto people, and being able to use that. So finally, max banners. It just took a while to kind of unlock it. Now, okay, so we've got this dash with IG and Kuiil, and I mean they're fast. I'll grant them that. I mean, they all get extra speed and stuff, but that they can be resilient. But there's no, I don't know. I don't think this ends up being a comp that a lot of people use. That's not me talking smack on Darkseid or anything. I think that we're all trying to figure out 3v3. This Padme team with, I mean, we used it last time too. I really like having Padme, Snips, and Wrecker here, because Wrecker can get his banner back. He didn't this time, but he can. And maybe that's the value of that team, is steals 3 banners. That could also be it. Okay, so looking at the teams available, I'm running out of teams, guys, because he placed 0 easy teams for me to beat, and so we're saving our Sith Eternal so that we can kill their Rey and and stuff. And what I decided early on was I wasn't gonna try to calculate it, so that because he's working at a disadvantage. He's attacking first, and I don't want to just take advantage of him being like a good dude. He could just watch my stream if he wanted to, and then know exactly what I had in the back zone, and then make his decisions then. He didn't do that. So what I decided I wasn't going to just compare with math this whole time, trying to make sure, banner pinch to make sure that if we get, oh, we don't actually have to get a full clear, guys, Okay, so we're sending in a burner here, by the way, because this Vader team is really scary. It's Vader, Talon, and Set. But remember, Talon is going to revive Vader if we're not careful. And so I was pretty sure that my Jedi would lose this if we gave Vader first turn, because he's going to get his big hit in. He's going to get Merciless Massacre going. We're going to be ability blocked on everyone before we even get a turn, and it's going to be a huge mess. So I sent in burners. Because here's the other thing, guys. We need to kill Talon before we can kill Vader, because she'll just revive Vader. I really like this team on defense, actually, guys. Really tricky. He put a ton of speed on Vader, while keeping him a lot of offense. I mean, this is what happens when people have amazing mods. They can make a Vader team like this extremely menacing. So finally killed it, but we had to triple tap it to do it, dropping more banners. And then, okay, so we've got Crew, we've got Red Trooper, and whatever his name is, OGKylo, and we gotta take this team out, guys. The goal, of course, is to kill Hux. Hux is one of those leaders, he's actually exactly like Vader, in the sense that once he dies, his leadership, he takes some of his leadership away with him. Now note that we're hitting people with our basic with Crew to keep our taunt on him. We need to get someone with a debuff and is basic, so we get tenacity down, but then we also keep that taunt. I mean, they can dispel it sometimes, but we want them hitting him instead of our squishier friends, of course. Now that Hux is gone, though, I mean, Red Trooper is super thick, and of course, whenever he gets crit, or I forget what the criteria is, what the crit area is, he gets that crit immunity, and he gets super thick. He's tough bastard to nail down, but nail down that tough bastard we did. For 56 banners. Not too bad. Not too bad, guys. And now we've got Rey here. And this... So we're going to try to... So you'll note, guys, that we have... I've sent in burners because I didn't want Yoda or Hoda to be able to put Master's Training on Rey. And I didn't want Armor to put any of the stacks of ingots onto Rey either. So we're burning those cooldowns. So now they're on cooldown. They're on long cooldown. So hopefully we can fry them before they actually get any of those off. Because otherwise, this team gets really, really difficult to beat. Okay, so we have our own Watt and Armor here. May as well just use all of them. And, okay, so one issue that I failed to recognize, guys, is that Armor actually just gets that third stack because Rey cuts herself. She does Lifeblood, and it hurt, and so she's able to just get those Beskar ingots. However, we get lucky because she applies the Beskar ingots to Hoda instead. So super lucky there. But we got unlucky in the sense that they went before, they got a whirlwind off and killed our Armor before Armor got to apply her ingots. So that was actually, you know what, that was a really, I didn't even think about that after all of this was done. It's a pretty big deal here, guys, though. So, okay, get our ult. Look at that, we put, Hoda even put Master's Training on Armorer. So, no Master's Training, no Beskar ingots on Rey here. So, wonderful, right? Okay, cool, so no Beskar on Rey. That is hugely helpful, in fact. Like, we need that. But she did get Master's Training, which, I mean, I suppose that's it's inevitable. However, okay, so she gets her ult. We're at max health and protection. Let's see how much damage she can do. She almost killed us, guys, because she's super high health, or super high offense, and that Master's Training really does a lot of work on us. So here's the thing that I think I should have done. Actually, guys, I could have done better on this. I tried to get my protection back. However, I should have just done a basic to heal up because my health is more important than my protection pool. Okay, so killed Hoda. That's great. But our protection is just like going away every time she's attacking because she's gaining mastery this whole time because we're getting turn meter and stuff. She gets her ultimate. I decide, okay, I'm gonna just time out, and then I was like, you know what? She's gonna start with 0 turn meter anyways. We may as well just hit her for a couple more damage. See if we can maybe survive it and get lucky. That doesn't work. I've been saving Geos, however, to finish her off. If we do this, we get the full clear. If we don't, then we'll have to find another way to take her out. But in threes, there's just the zerging options are very, very minimal. So, you know, she is in yellow there, but now she's not. She's not in yellow. So now okay, they killed our brute. So, you know, Geos can beat Rey sometimes, but not every time. And we're trying to get ability block on her with Poggle. Not really happening apparently, because she just keeps getting lifeblood and everything. She's about to get her ult. Oh my gosh, guys. I mean, this is kind of a disaster, frankly. I mean, like, can we kill her here? I was like, I may as well just do a big hit, because I think otherwise we're just kind of screwed. Having the full 5-man Geo team is a lot better. So everyone's dead. And, alright, let's go to fleets. So, I failed a bunch. He's failed a bunch. Can we, if we get... I didn't do the math here, though, guys. So the other factor here, and you guys have seen me do this counter a lot, so I don't need to call play-by-play on it. The other factor here is my buddy Solo Base has a big match against another streamer, and so I had agreed to raid into him when they started, and they'd been going for about an hour at this point because we're trying to figure out how to beat this squad. And so I'm just trying to. I was pretty sure because I'd failed so much. I'd sent burners in, all this stuff. I was pretty sure I had just lost at this point, and I didn't do the math. I was just rushing, and so I was like, we got to clear ships, and we'll see how close it ended up being. So you know, I'm distracted by that. It's been a long stream, and I'm tired. And these all sound like excuses. Like I'm saying, like I you know. I don't think that making excuses is a worthwhile decision on almost any area in life, guys. And so that's not what I'm trying to do here. I do want to make sure you guys understand the situation here. So, gosh, what? Okay, dude, you gotta do ability block on that guy so he doesn't taunt like that. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what was going on. Maybe Slave 1 had a bunch of turn meter or something, but one way or another. Okay, so the taunt isn't necessarily the end of the world. We can chew through this Houndstooth at an okay rate, usually. So Sunfac is gone. It's a little bit ominous, but we'll just keep doing our thing. With Silencer, okay, there goes Shuttle. That's not great. Almost killed Houndstooth here. But we're close. We almost got Houndstooth, and then Silencer died, and Finalizer died. And we failed. So I was like, okay, for sure we lost then. No question. So we're gonna move on to this Chimera fleet, and we have to use Soldier here because we had Sunfac with the Finalizer fleet there. And I think I don't remember what all reinforcements I took. I took too many reinforcements on all of my fleets. In fact, guys, too many, and so there are issues there, of course. And okay, let's get Spy in. See who we can take out. Okay, it's TIE Interceptor. We didn't even kill TIE Interceptor. Dear Lord, can we just kill TIE Interceptor for once in our lives, please? Please? Can we kill any TIE fighters? Okay, bad banners, but we got through it. One shot. Great. Okay, we've still got Negotiator to kill. So let's take in Home 1 here. We'll use Negotiator to clean up their Executor. So we got the lucky combo there, and we're able to take out Anakin before anything else happened. That happens a lot against the Rex builds, I've noticed. So trying to get a few banners back. We heal up Biggs, even though Falcon has daze, because Falcon can heal herself from daze, anyways. And you know, trying to go through here, I guess 5s is the biggest threat currently, so we'll take out 5s if we can. And yeah, keep going. Let's do it. Let's go. Do the wiggle. Make sure we get a banner back there if we can. 73. Okay, not bad. But we didn't do the math, guys. We didn't do the math here. So I sent in a fully loaded Negotiator team. You guys will see when it's time for reinforcements, every reinforcement available is here. And so, yeah, it's a whole mess, guys. Okay, kill Houndstooth. That's important. Because I was so focused on trying to get out of the stream and I guess we didn't take the fully loaded, but we did take more than we needed to clean this up. And so, anyways, you know, I think normally I would have just taken 2 reinforcements like I normally do, but anyways, they've only got 1 ship here. We've got to finish off this Razor Crest, and it's all good. Like we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Just got to finish this though, so we can get to Solo stream. We can raid him and everything. And so yeah, I mean, we're doing okay. Just finish it off. Okay, so not terrible banners. And I was like, okay, well, let's see how bad we lost by. And oh man, guys, look at this score. I had no idea we were that close. I didn't stop to do the math. I am still so appalled by this, guys. We lost by 1, and I had the tiebreaker, so a tie would have been a win for me. And long story short, like I couldn't clear Rey, even at yellow. Even when she's in yellow, I couldn't do it. Just nothing in 3s can do it, really. Not much. Anyways, my dad bod Boba, Team Assign of Jango, just didn't do it. So We lost by 1. I mean, we beat him by 1 last time. I don't really begrudge him the win. At the same time, this was so easily... We could have won. Like, if I had just looked at my fleet banners, we could have done it. And, I mean, I have myself to blame. So... there's that, guys. That kills me. At this level, in the top 50, losing by 1 banner is pretty devastating. We just won by 1 banner against Synergy. Now we lose by 1 banner here. My last fight, the one at the start of the season, we lost by 6. So total of 8 banners decided all 3 of my week's matches. Really crazy stuff, guys. But yeah, let's go to the final thoughts, shall we? Alright, here we are, guys. Here we are. So... Alright, so oops. I could have won. And you see, I didn't even take a screenshot of the final. I was so demoralized, guys. I was... It sucked. So we won that one by 1, but then I didn't even take a screenshot of my failure here. So huge props to Darkseid. Like, really good sport, really good dude. And, I mean, I deserved the loss, certainly. I earned it. So, the one good thing about this week, though, guys, is I had such close scores. Like, easily, Synergy could have beat me. We got that really cool ending win. You guys should check that fight out if you haven't already. We lost this one to Darkseid by 1. We lost by 6 on the other one. And what it tells me, we went 1 and 2, and that stinks, but... I can hang in the top 50. Like, the people in the top 50 aren't just worlds better than me. We can actually have a contest, and that's an important thing to realize and remember, guys. So, otherwise, no excuses. I could have won here if I had just, I feel like I keep saying that a lot. We could have won, guys. That doesn't mean we should have won by any stretch. Just do the math. Just pause for a second. Just pause for a second. I could have gotten it. So, end of the day, good match, Darkseid. Makes me sad that happened that way. But we even got really lucky on that Rey match, and Sith Eternal was not up to the challenge. He just wasn't. So, keep that in mind too, folks. Rey with Hoda. It's going to give you problems. Alright, guys. Going to call it good here. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zereth prevails.